Hello everyone, welcome back in another video. I am Vaibhav and in our today's video we are going to see difference in between throw and throws. Today date is 13th of August 2022 and we are going to see our today's video topic. So in our previous videos we are discussing Java can provide us some different mechanism for handling the exceptions. These are like throw, catch, throws, thrown, and finally. So from this scenario, we are going to see the difference between throws and throw in today's video. So before going towards that scenario, let's see the how actually our throw and throws. Why we are needing that use of throw and throws in our code. Let's suppose I am creating a code for some mathematical calculation. That time I am creating some the num like int num is num1 and num2, and I am taking input from a user by using a scanner. That time, let's suppose there is some probability that probability of giving answer by the there is not any surety the answer is given by the user is constant or it is a non-zero value. If I am giving the arithmetical calculation like num3 is equal to num1 by num2, that time if user can give us input like suppose there is num1 is equal to 10 and num2 is equal to 0. So in this case there will be a creating or occurring an exception, that is the arithmetical exception. So that's why it shows an exception. So what actually the performance is the what actually operation is done within the JVM. Let's see. So in this case, if there is any exception is occurred in a code, that time that exception can create its own object, and that object can that sorry if any exception is occurred, that time the main method can create an object for that exception and it go towards the JVM, because JVM can support all these methods, and the JVM can checking if any exception handling method is presenting in code or not. If there is a presenting any exception method, like we are know how we can handle that exception by using try and catch block. If any exception is present, that means we are also called that we can also call that exception producing line, or we are also called that exception line as a risky line. We are writing that risky line in between the try block. We can write as a try block as a try, and within their parentheses we are writing that risky line. That is in our example, that is num3 is equal to num1 by num2, and that is num3 is equal to 10 by 0. So that time that exception will be created within that try block. If that is an exception, that time that exception can be handled by the catch block, or exception can be handled within the catch block. And the syntax for catch block we are writing as a catch, and within the parentheses we are giving an exception type. Let's suppose that we can write as an exception arithmetical exception, or we can directly write the their upper class, or we can directly write as their grandparent class, that is the extension within that, and then we can write as we can directly write as exception comma exception and e or f. So in this case e or f, that is the reference of object that will be created by the catch method, and that we can write anything for that reference object. That object can directly calling to the JVM, and JVM checks if there is an exception is occurred. That time try block will be if any execution is occurred in a try block, then JVM can check if there is any catch condition is there. If there is any catch condition, that time that catch block will be executed. If there is not any creating any exception within the code, that time only try block will be executed, and after that try block, other than catch block, other blocks are executed. In this case catch block cannot be executed because there is not any occurring any exception. But let's suppose if we are not applying, or we are not providing any exception handling in this case, that time what will happen? So in this scenario, our main method can creating object and goes towards the JVM, and JVM checking there is any process is available for handling, so that time it give get as a output as is, that is we are not giving any exception handling method for this case. So then JVM can directly display that the details about that thread is killed, and JVM can display as within a red color, that is why that exception is occurred, in which line that exception is occurred, in which class that exception is occurred, and which method is exception is occurred, and which of that the risky line, on that line the exception is occurred, and main thing what type of exception is occurred on this case, that will be shown in our compiler by the JVM after the killing that thread or after the eliminating that thread. So that condition will be occur if there is any exception is occurred. So why we need use to threads? Why we need to use the throw? So in some of the scenarios we have to implement that case in which we have to kill the thread by ourselves. That means some scenarios like password securities. Let's see if there is any user or any third user is using another's account, that time if putting a password again repeated wrong password repeatedly, that time if that password can be repeatedly wrong 3 or more than 3 times, that time that account get blocked, and after that 3 attempt that we are using throws, that time we are eliminating that input given from the user, and we show us message that is a wrong password, or we are directly block that account for a time of period. That time we are needed throws. And also one more scenario is that let's suppose there is a voting site, and if any voter is below the age of 18, that time we are actually using that throws, because we are putting the condition is that if any applier or is any voter is below the age of 18, that time we have to eliminate that voter, or we have to eliminate that proper we have to eliminate that aspect from the our whole content, that time we are using a throw blocks. That means we have to implement that throws for eliminating that thread from our code or from our project. That time we are using a directly throws. So basically throws can work like as we are writing our throws within our block of code or within a body of our code. We are writing a throw within the body of our code, and there one more important thing is that we are able to use only one. We are able to use throw only for killing for only one thread at a time. That means we are not able to kill all the thread by using only one throws keyword. So after that, after that we see how actually our throw will work. Throw can be implemented by the coder or by the developer for the purpose of killing the thread which is generated within the code. That time the coder can write a syntax like throw new and then exception class name. Let's suppose in our case that is the arithmetical exception. We can write as throw new exception, arithmetical exception, after that parenthesis. So that exception is created by the coder or by the developer. So that time the object will be not creating by the main method. That time object is directly created by the developer or coder by using a new keyword, and that object goes toward the JVM, and JVM gives us output on a display that which exception can given by us. In our case, that is we are giving exception of arithmetical exception. It shows that details same as the details can shown in our previous example. That is the name of that class, method of this, in which method, in which line, and what type of exception is occurred in this case, because we are directly putting that exception in this case. That is the overall scenario about throw. And now we are going toward the next keyword, that is the throws. So throws does not having any different function, or throws cannot be able to work. We are not using throws as any exception handling. In our previously video, we have seen that there is some scenarios like checked and unchecked conditions. That time, if any object is predefined as a in our checked condition, that time we are using that exception. That time it directly shows us an exception by underlining that question by red line. So that time our compiler can show that exception directly. If there is a we are using directly predefined some methods like IO exception or file find exception. That time it shows a occurring chances of exception is higher. That's why our compiler can show that exception at the time of compilation. So if we have to avoid that exception or we are know that exception can be created but there is a less probability, that time we are using a throws keyword. So we can write the throws keyword after the method names. That means we are applying the throws keyword in throughout the block of that method. We are directly write as suppose there is a method that is a void calculation method and there is a parenthesis. We can write directly as a void calculation. After the parenthesis we can directly write as a throws. When we are writing the throws on that method block, that time that whole block will be work as a throws block. That means if any exception is occurred in that within that block is not shown by the compiler. It only shows after the compilation or after the execution of the whole code. That is the basic working of throws. We can handle the multiple exception by using a throws keyword. Some exception like arithmetical exception, SQL exception, or all of those types of exceptions are there. And throw is also followed by the class. So throws cannot be handling the exception. It only convert the or it only ignore the predefined or checked exception into the unchecked exception. So that is overall discussion or overall details about or overall difference in between throw and throws. Thank you.